Once he told me a story about a man. He often looked up at the sky with a big smile on his face. And he always had a book with him.
分かった。じゃあそうじゃないのですよね、もう一個ね。何回だ
niš spavat možda sad.
Šta?
Možda je bolje da uzmemo čaj.
Da.
Da kupi je kavu naシェフ、むくな。すいません。お邪魔します。家にいるんですか？ご飯持ってきたよ。お弁当。あったかいお弁当持ってきたんだけど。もしいるんだったら出てきて。ないかな。猫？猫小屋。Cats inside. にゃんにゃん。
あ、そうましければ。
すいません。Noč. Strah, malo strah, ne?
Meni je. Ajmo. Ostati to na glavu.
Da vi gledate to. あったかいお弁当持ってきましたよ。誰かいるのかな？すいません。これですね。すいません。
Закрывай от нас, может быть.
あったかい弁当持ってきたんだけど、もしいないんだったら帰るよ。もしいるんだったら出てきて。あ、してないです。
А, пишет тут.
こんばんは。弁当持ってきたんだけど、いる？あったかい弁当とあったかいお茶買ってきたよ。今日寒いから。ご飯食べよう。今veš. Pogledaš.
To treba biti ovdje, ne ostavljam sve te stvari tako.
Sve alkohol. 家にいる？ご飯あるよ。ご飯。今日クリスマスだからご飯買ってきたよ。食べる？お弁当とお茶。おにぎり。おいで。海外から家がない人たちのためにご飯買ってきたんだけど、おいで、ご飯食べよう。風邪ひいてる？ 薬も持ってこようか。ごめんね、起こしちゃって。こんばんは。どうも。何お茶がいい？ユーズ、レモンティーか、日本の、グリーンティー。どっちがいい？
Pitääkö kerran sniman?
ちょっと、撮っても大丈夫？動画。大丈夫？ OK。
こんばんは。
ペータルっていうの、この人。
はい。
これ弁当。
写真撮るの？
動画？
ご飯？
ご飯。お箸。何がいい？なんかいろいろあるよ。こっちがいい？どっちがいい？
いや、どっちでもいい。
じゃあ、はい。これもあげる。ご飯食べた今日。
ご飯は食べてるよ、それ。
あ、本当？
毎日。
あ
ものは買えるもの。
あ。お兄さんは仕事してる？仕事、バイトとかしてる？バイトしてる？
何？
バイトしてる？仕事してる？仕事。
だからアルミ缶売ってんじゃん。国は困らないよ。
あ、本当？あ、すごいよ。海外と全然違う。これがいい？柚子がいい？柚子あるよ。
お前台風で全部流されちゃったからね。
そうね。足寒くないって聞いてるよ。
ああ、寒くない。
寒くない？にもらうの。もしよかったら靴下買ってあげようと思ったんだけど。
外は寒いけどね。
外は寒いね。あ、これは違うやつ。
外は寒いけど。
みんなどこにいるか知ってる？今日クリスマスだからご飯たくさん買ってみんなにあげたいんだけど、いないの誰も。
いるだろ、そこ。
どこ？
ここ。俺も行ったことないからわかんないけど、人がこっちにいるよ。
こっち。お兄さん何歳？何歳
70。
70。わお。いつから外暮らし？
もう10年ぐらいある。
10年。わ。
前俺財布が来るまでよ、下にいたんだよ、下に。だからもう9月から全部流されてって。ここをさ、ずっとこの泥なりに歩いていけば、多分こっち側のあれに、テントがなんだか何が立ってるはずだから。
オッケー。ありがとう。じゃあメリークリスマス。気をつけて体にガスつかないように。
ありがとうございます。
たくさんご飯食べて。ごめんね、起こしちゃって。
はい、ありがとう。
ごめんね。おやすみ。
Following the direction, the old man told us, we only meet two other people. But they have no desire to talk to us.
あ、はーい。
And just when you're about to give up, tired of walking on a dark muddy way, suddenly we meet someone who decides to welcome us.
Santa Comala.
Yes. He is Mr. Masami, a homeless man who lives on the outskirts of Tokyo, near the banks of Tama River. I got a tea for him.
もしもうち。
外よりは暖かいよ。
ありがとう。じゃあお邪魔します。はい、意外と暖かいね。忘れてて。
And this is his home, a small but very cozy tent.
何？布団もないの？布団。
生ものダメなんですよ。
Once inside, we decide to eat all together. Evening menu, sushi, and sandwiches bought at the supermarket. いただきます。
Кажется, не може есть рыбы сырое. Типа рыбы.
Добро.
Айде.
Having taken a bit of confidence, Masami begins to tell us some details about his personal life.
64 години има.
北海道。
北海道.
From Hokkaido.
From Hokkaido. Wow. until 22 years old. He lived in Hokkaido, and then he left with his friend, and he came to Kawasaki City. And it's been 40 years since he came here.
How long has he been living as a homeless? Can you ask that?
だから流れてさ、ここに来て2年。
ここに来て2年。ってことは40年ずっと家がないってこと？
いやそんなことない。
Hokkaido ada ya. Не сейчас еще колко дуго. Nem kucho. И все на месте на другое место. Ведь пару годин. Жизнь сенгоха. Каждый купует cigarete svaki dan jer voli pušiti jako.
Okay.
I onda potroši 1500 jena na dan.
Samo cigare.
Da. I ne, sa hranom isto. Gohan mo含めてでしょ? Sa hranom.
1,500 yens per day. Although little, Masami manages to raise some money that allows him to survive. How? He has a job. He collects cans that he finds on the street. And tonight, he'll take us to work with him.
けどさっき見た風がなくて、ずいぶん遠いよ。
どこまで行くの？鳥のまで行くの。すごい。
Carl and Masami have bicycles. And I? Well, I'll have to walk. Again! This is what we'll do all evening. Stop at some specific places that Masami knows well, rummage through the garbage left by the people who live in the area, and collect all the cans we can find. One thing I notice is the haste with which Masami wants to leave every place where he stops to collect cans. Between one can and the other, Masami can help but take a cigarette break. But having no money with him, I'll have to pay for the cigarettes. Yeah, that's for you, man. You can keep it.
Ako ima unutra cigareta, onda baci cigarete van.
Okay. Okay, for a new job in Japan. Being a foreigner and collecting cans with a homeless man is something that does not go unnoticed by people passing by. Some people just stopped by. They were looking at us. I guess they're curious. Feeling the eyes of people a bit too much on him, probably also due to our presence, Masami takes us to this tunnel to finish the last part of the work. We need to crumple the cans in order to get as much of them as possible into some plastic bags, which we'll use to transport them. Once the work is done, before returning home, I ask Masami to tell me some aspects of his working life. Koliko dugo on svaki dan to radi, koliko sati?
夜動いてる時はもう6時間7時間ぐらい拾ってるね。
6 do 7 sati. Uvodi se na večer i onda 6 do 7 sati skuplja konzerve.
Može da objasni kako to funkcioniše sa teritorijom? Ono, kao... On ima određenu teritoriju, ne može da kupi, je li tako?
いや、それはやっぱり本人次第だね。やっぱり、 本人ってなんていうのかな、決める人は誰もいないんだけどね。
No one decides, but they already know who's picking where, so they're trying to pick up in places where they know no one else picks, so they won't get into a fight.
I šta se desi ako jedan kupi u teritoriju nekog drugoga?
やっぱり、
喧嘩になる。ガチ喧嘩？口喧嘩だけ？
口喧嘩。
Svađaće se jako. They will fight, but not with not fighting with hands and not punching, but a lot of
no weapons.
No weapons, just with mouth.
Okay. Kad smo kupili one konzerve, neke su imali neke stvari unutra. I on je rekao da oni to namjerno rade, da ovi ne mogu kupiti, je li to istina ili ne? Može to da objasni isto?
ある。全部が全部入ってるとかある。
Sometimes all of the cans have cigarette butts inside because the people who throwing away the garbage don't want them to pick the garbage up. They don't want them to sell it.
Zašto?
They're doing it on purpose. なんで？
なんでだかやっぱり嫌がらせじゃない？
理由はどこにない？
持って帰りたくないっていう感じあるんじゃない
？They don't want them to take it with them and to sell it. They don't want them to earn money from it.
なんで？
なんでわかんない。なんで？
だから持って帰りたくない気持ちはある。だからタバコ普通の家庭には灰皿あるからね。それが缶一つ一つに全部入ってるんだから、それしか考えられないんだね。
Usually everyone who smokes have ashtray at home, but they still put all the buds inside a can because they're just being mean. There's no reason for that. They're just being mean, just being assholes.
Fucking Japanese.
Don't say that.
Before taking Masami home, we stopped for dinner. We got hungry after all the cans we collected.
Yahoo. Yahoo.
Kaj je zadnji put bio u restoranu?
去年の手伝いに行った時お昼は
To je godno dana i jeo ručak.
Ako. Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
On the way back, Koro held her something. Masami told her that many years ago he lost a sister he loved very much, and that her death caused him a great pain. A pain that still today he cannot overcome. How was your day with us?
今日一緒に行って楽しかった？Bilo mu je zabavno danas. He had fun.
Good. We were still tired after that evening, but despite the tiredness, there was still a question in my head. The question that most of all I wanted to ask him. Perhaps, also thanks to the confidence achieved, I decided it was time to talk openly to him. And now, I don't know how can I ask that, but if he can tell how he ended up living this way, how that happened, if he can say that.
どうやって家がなくなったの？何があって家がなくなった？
何があって？
He turns his gaze down, as if suddenly his thoughts prevented him from talking.
最初高津区に部屋借りてたんだけど、なんていうのかな、要はもう嫌なって、そこ嫌なっても出ちゃったっていう感じだね。
He lived in 高津か？
高津区。
高津区？
Okay.
He lived there, but then he didn't want to live there anymore, and he just left.
Okay. And in the end, he gives me an answer that has nothing to do with the question. For some reason, he doesn't want to answer me. And does he has any family left up in Hokkaido?
母親だけ。そしてあと兄弟一番下の妹がいる。
He has a younger sister and a mother.
Okay. Does he has contact with them?
No, he doesn't contact them anymore.
Would you like to see them one day?
だから 顔を合わすあれがもうね、
He doesn't have the courage to see them anymore. He doesn't want them to see what he became.
I understand. Okay. That's sad, but...
悲しいね。会いたいのに会えないのはね。
Okay, let's change subject.
はい、ちょっと。
Can I sleep with you tonight?
今夜は一緒に泊まってもいい？
ありがとうございます。That's a pleasure for me to sleep with you tonight.
もうとってもワクワクしてるよって。
I'm so happy.
楽しいよ。
Thank you for the opportunity.
ありがとう。
And does it happen before that someone else slept with you here?
誰か一緒に泊まったことある？
ないです。
No.
No pretty girls?
可愛いお姉様来たことないの？
No? Sorry, not a pretty girl, but hope it's fine for you anyway.
って言ってるよ。男でごめんなって。
Okay.
大丈夫。
I have just one question. If I need to go to the toilet, how can I do that?
これトイレないからやっぱりそっちか。紙はもうこれしかないよ。
Toilet paper?
Toilet paper? This is toilet paper?
This is the last toilet paper.
Okay. Okay, I use my hands then.
じゃあ手使うよって。やだよ。Oh, this one, you go outside and you use the toilet outside.
Okay.
Like a real man.
Okay, I'll do it. We say oyasumi for tonight.
じゃあ今夜はおやすみね。バイバイ。
Bye bye.
また明日ね。をこうして。
Nice. Masami's care in placing the paperboards so that I don't feel cold tonight leaves me speechless. Da. Sasso con moglie. Dopo questo, Oyasumi. Oyasumi. Ohayo.
公園のやつで、旦那が今川じゃサイクリングのとこにいるから、自転車両方。オッケー。分かった。そうですよ。
Proburla coral.
Yes.
Dobre si. Up very early. We have to reach a collection point where Masami will deliver the cans we collected the night before to receive some money. There are 20 kilometers to go, and I have no desire to run after them again. So this time, I also get a bicycle. I was still stunned by the night spent in a tent. With all the cars driving on the road not far away, I couldn't really sleep. But oh man, look at the view. Watching the sunrise makes me feel better again. $20 kilo?
20 kilo.
Nice.
Press してこれになるよね。これになるよね。
何？
プレスすればこれになるよね。見てこれ。
はい、どうも。はい。よろしくお願いします。
ナイス。
プレスしたやつ。
はい。何？絶対でしょ。
Receipt 105 yen times 20 kilo 2,100 yen.
That's what you got today.
Yes, for 20 kilo of cans. And more than 20 hours in 3 days, and this is what he gets.
That's insane.
すごいね。
It's almost time to say goodbye to Masami. But before leaving, I want to ask him a few more questions. What do you do when you don't work? Usually, you have friends, you talk to other people, or you stay alone all the time here.
そういうことね、ここでのんびり、横なって、やっぱりそうやっているだけはね、ラジオ聞いて。
When he doesn't work, he's just staying here on the bed and just listen to the radio and relax and sleep.
He never meet any people. We have been with him yesterday and today. So we've been the only people he talked to like in a really, really long time.
あんまりやっぱり付き合いも、自分からは絶対話しかけないね。
He will never start the conversation with someone else. If someone starts conversation with him, he will talk, but he will never start the conversation.
He feels like people are avoiding him.
応じてます。
If someone is talking to him, start to talk to him outside when he's picking up the cans, of course he will continue the conversation. He will talk to them because he doesn't hate people. He likes people, but he doesn't start the conversation. But he doesn't talk to other people who collect the cans too, because they're like not really friends. It's like survival.
Okay, so kind of sort of competition.
Yes, competition.
Okay, I understand. Have you ever had a wife or a girlfriend in your life?
昨日言った通り、それはない。
He never got married. He had a girlfriend before, but it wasn't that serious.
Okay, I understand. Try to ask again what I asked yesterday, but... And while I was about to ask him the question, the same I tried to ask the night before, about how he ended up living that kind of life. With her look, Carol makes me understand that it's better not to repeat that question. And I do not insist. Have you ever left Japan?
No, never. He never left Japan.
But doesn't it happen sometimes to you to look at the horizon and just ask yourself if there is something there, like over the borders, over your country, if there is another world with different people? Do you ever think about that?
同じか、なんていうのか、やっぱり言葉が通じればね、そういう興味も持つかわかんないけど、
If he could understand other people from the other side of the world, their language, then he would be interested in knowing what's going on over there. But since he doesn't know the language, he never thought about it before. He's not really interested in that.
Are you happy?
幸せっていうよりも、これが生きるためにこれやってるだけだから。
This is what he do to survive. It has nothing to do with happiness or sadness. It's just surviving.
Last question.
最後の質問。
Which is your biggest dream?
だから昨日言った通り、夢も何もない。
He never had a dream before.
Still now, I don't have any dreams at all.
今もなんかこうなりたいとかない？こうなれたらいいのになみたいな。
いやもう年だけど、先が見えてます。
He said he's already old. He knows what is waiting for him. Like です。
ありがとうございます。I was just
まだまだ希望あるよ。
thank you for accepting us. Hope you had a good time with us those 2 days.
一緒にいてくれてありがとう、この2日間。
I wish you're gonna have a better life in the future because you're a good man, you're a good worker. I've seen what you are capable of in those 2 days, and I really wish your life is gonna improve because you said you know what is waiting for you, but at least I think you deserve to end your days in a better way.
この先見え
If I would tell you like let's go to Hokkaido to meet your sister or mom, what would you tell?
行きたくない？ねじゃあうち。Doesn't want.
Okay, I guess we are done.
OK。
Thank you very much.
ありがと
You can go to sleep now.
う。もう寝てていいよって。お疲れ。
はい。
Say お疲れ。お疲れ。
Can I call you my Japanese grandpa? Is it okay for you if I call you like that?
ジャパニーズおじいちゃんって呼んでいい？
おじいちゃん。
家族みたいだから。おじいちゃん。
I won't forget you. I won't forget.
一生忘れないよ。
はい。
Thank you.
はい。
See you.
はい
バイバイ。
Yeah, it's not easy. I have to leave him there, alone in his tent, where his only company is a radio, alone with his cans, alone with his secret. That secret I'll never know. It hurts. I wish I could help him, change his life for the better. But in the end, I know I can't do anything. Suddenly, that story came back to my mind, about the man who looked at the sky with a big smile on his face. There's just one problem. That story. I don't really remember it anymore. Shinjuku Station, located in one of Tokyo's most popular districts. It is considered the station with the highest passenger traffic in the world. He is Kazuhiro, and this place, where millions of people pass every day, has become his home. Once seated, Kazuhiro shows us a calendar that, from what I understand, was given to him by some activists, who are involved in giving support to the homeless in the city. For each day, there are some activities written in the calendar, organized specifically for the homeless, with time and meeting place, so they can spend time together, get to know each other, and even become friends.
This is the schedule for the homeless people in Shibuya.
Okay, what they do?
で、何をするの？明日。
ここはホームレスの人たちが集まってみんなで包丁を使ってカットね。
So tomorrow from 8 till 9 in the morning, the homeless people will gather around in the park in Shibuya and they will use some knives to cut vegetables.
朝8時から9時みんなでテントを作る。寝るテン
And
ト
we're
で。
gonna make a tent to sleep in.
Nice!
Yes! いいね。
Are you excited?
ワクワクする？
します。だけど初めてだから指離してうまくは作れないから。
So he
なん
said
とか
since he's a guy, he never used a knife before. He never cooked before. So he's very scared and worried about tomorrow because tomorrow everyone's gonna use a knife and make some food. So he's scared he will cut his fingers. Maybe he can make new friends tomorrow.
I hope so. I hope so.
大人になるとねみんな友達少なくなる。
He said by becoming an adult, you start losing all your friends, and it's hard to make friends when you become an adult because you don't go to school anymore, and it's like more difficult. People are more closed.
だから
Oh wow!
You're getting food.
Oh ho ho ho! Thank you.
ありがとう。
ありがと
本当にありがとうございます。今日
Yeah.
は本当に。
う。He said it's very hard to get such yummy food. He's very happy. He said thank you very much. 食べたことない。He doesn't like みょうが。
沖縄の
So he said he had a company. Is that true? If you can say something more about that.
He had a company that makes files for books, book files.
And what happened with the company?
あんまり仕事がね入ってこなくなっちゃった。
It was a small company with just few people in it, and they stopped getting orders.
How many employees did he have?
何人いたの会社に？
25人ぐらい。
25 people.
He need to fire all of them.
みんなクビにしたの？Yeah, he fired.
When did you close down the company?
いつ潰れたの会社？
4年ぐらい前かな。
4 years ago.
What did you do after the company closed down?
まあバイトみたいなもんだね。Like a part-time job, four times a week.
What he was doing?
So he did factory work 4 times a week. He's in factories, so parts for the robots in the factory, like you know, like metal parts.
Okay. What happened with that job?
出なきゃいいじゃん。
So that part-time job was like after 3 years, you need to live by yourself. You cannot go back. It's like a 3-year contract.
Okay.
So after you finish with that, you need to go, and then other people come in instead of you. So after that, he joined like another company, some few small companies, but it didn't went well because he didn't have the skills for that. It wasn't good.
No girlfriend?
彼女は
彼女は逃げられました。
She ran away.
How long time ago?
10 years 一緒にいたのね。
Oh, they've been together for 10 years.
Okay.
5 years ago, they had a small fight and she ran away.
もう早く服着ろって
それはひどい。
風呂から出たらさ
When you see your girlfriend naked for 10 years, you don't feel excited anymore when you see her naked. So when she would come out of the shower, he would say, just put clothes on, put clothes on.
思わないだってあんまりだって日本人みたいにスラーって着てるのばっかりじゃない新宿だって人いっぱい歩ってるけど
Japanese people are very skinny.
ボボボボボってでかいあんまりねあんまり100人に1人ぐらいね
She's gonna finish up. I'm also.
Coral said you had beautiful hair. Can you show us?
Oi. Wow, ふさふさ。
Nice. Nice.
50代にしちゃ髪の毛ある方です
No, I just said. He said he has a lot of hair for a 50-year-old man.
Yeah, you have.
I said yes, he has a lot of hair.
You said you have brothers and sisters. You know what they know about your current situation.
His parents are divorced, so he didn't tell his parents, but he told his brothers and sisters.
What they say about that?
なんか早く仕事見つけろみたいな言ってます
They say just get a job quickly. Like get a job.
Why they cannot take you at their home, for example?
今自分が分かってるのは、自分のお姉さんの、もう結婚してるから、ね
He doesn't know where his other siblings are living except for his older sister, but his older sister is married, so he can't go there.
Okay. You can just call them, ask them where do you live, you know. So
電話がつながらない状態なんでどこに住んでるかもアドレスがよくわからない
He can't call them, like someone's phone is out of order, not sure if his phone or someone else, their phone, so he can't call them and he doesn't know where they live. He doesn't know the address.
ちょっと電話かけていくかもしれない
He said if he knew where they live, he would call them and go there to their house to live with them.
would you tell us how you ended up in this situation, if you want?
仕事がなくなったっていうのもあるし、働いてもアパート代とかでお金取られちゃうじゃないですか、まあみんなそれ払って暮らしてんだけどちょっと休みたいなとかいろんな気持ちが入り混じって、ほんでこんなの生活してる感じ、
He said he lost his job, and after that, he said like, you know how everyone needs to pay the rent to live in an apartment? He got tired of that, so he chose this way. He doesn't want to pay the rent anymore because all the money he earns just goes on rent and food and stuff. So he just want to relax a little bit and not think about all the bills he needs to pay. So he chose this way of life, he said.
You said you own a company, but then like the company went bankrupt. Did you have some debts because of that?
まあそういうのはなかったです。
No debt.
Okay. So you basically just want to relax now. Let's say this is like a temporary situation. You're gonna find a job, then you'll find a place where to stay again, right?
He wants to find a job, and he's sure his dream will come true, like his wish will come true.
Yeah, for
Having
sure.
a home.
Did you have a problem like with other homeless guys, like on the street? There were some fights or like some argues?
何もなかった。
特に何もないです。大丈夫。
他のホームレスと喧嘩とかしないの？
何もない。
No, he's good with everyone, and everyone is very nice. So there's no problem living on the street.
Yes.
Okay.
Continuing to talk, Kazuhiro tells us about a little tragicomic misadventure that happened to him not so long ago.
してくれる？
住んでるところでふって避けたっていうかそんな感じ。
So he said he found it. 新聞に載ってたのそれ？
そう。
He found some like a sex magazine, and in the magazine they had like a address and a phone number. He said if you want to see more pictures of these sexy naked ladies, you need to go to this site. Like you need to call this number, and then they send you to another site to make registration. And he called the number, and like a automatic voice, like
responded.
Yeah. And they asked for his address. Like this, they sent him a link, and then he went to that link. And that link's like they took all of his information, and then they sent him an email. And he was so scared because his whole phone like became hacked with and said like danger. If you don't pay 9,999 yen, like $1,000. If you don't pay that amount of money until
Almost 1,000 yen.
Yeah. If you don't pay that much money, like something bad will happen to you.
Yeah.
And he got so scared, so he had to go to he removed the internet from the phone, like he turned off the internet, but they already got all of his information. So he got so scared, so he went to the shop and bought a new SIM card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's like, oh, they tried to trick him.
You think he's the fucking Yakuza?
ヤクザだと思う？それの。ヤクザ？ Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, もちろん。Let's go home.
And after the story of the alleged threats made by the Yakuza against a homeless man, it's time, well, let's say, to go to bed.
なんか作ってあげて。
That's for me, right? Awesome. I'm so happy.
これいっぱいあれば。
It's warm actually. It's warm. It's warm on the floor. I mean on the ground. Good. But there is something I should be aware of, like
ナスとか盗まれない？あ、wind.
wind. But no one will try to rob me.
なんか、荷物とか盗まれない？大丈夫？大丈夫。Nothing.
Nothing. Good.
Safe.
だから
Just one thing. It smells like pee here.
なんかおしっこの匂いがするんだって。ここ誰かおしっこしたんじゃない？
頭そっちする。
Put your head here. Head is here.
Okay.
Fanculo.
I'm good. Thank you.
の中で寝るのは人間だけだよ。
はい。
ね、みんな。
Okay.
みんな外で寝る。ベア、ドッグ、キャッツ。みんな外で。
The cat's here? Yeah, it's okay. Bear? No.
Pig.
No, big bear? No. There's no bear here. Hi, oyasumi.
おやすみなさい。
Maybe because of the noise, or maybe because of the people who look at you and at the same time ignore you, stepping on the same concrete I'm lying on. Watching them, I had like the feeling that they were also stepping on me. I couldn't fall asleep. Little by little, the noise was fading. But there was still one thing which was keeping me awake.
Ieri sera mentre dormivamo sono passati dei tizi che hanno dato da mangiare a tutti senza tetto della stazione e hanno portato le buste e hanno dato qualcosa anche a me. Questo qua c'è una mela, una banana, cos'altro? Un mandarino e poi dovrebbe essere tè verde, penso. Però per correttezza non mangerò queste cose.
After a night spent lying on concrete, Kazuhiro shows me his morning routine. Noodles for breakfast.
Sauce, yeah. Shake it.
And regarding personal hygiene, Kazuhiro takes me to a bathroom in the station. There are people in line when we arrive in front of the bathroom. Kazuhiro tells me to follow him. And he skips the line. Something absolutely unusual for a Japanese. Who knows what people may have thought when they saw two adult males skip the line and enter the bathroom together.
Ah, nice.
After a short train ride, we arrive in Shibuya, where according to the calendar Kazuhiro will meet with other homeless people to spend the day together. But before saying goodbye, I want to give him a little advice.
And, next time when you find a porn magazine, don't use your phone, use something else, okay? I'll give you a hug.
Hug.
Then we can go now, let's go to the park.
じゃあ行こう。バイバイ。
We take Kazuhiro to the park, wishing him to make many friends and to be careful not to cut his fingers. It was New Year's Eve, and the next day would have been January 1st. There was someone who was going to spend that day alone, without anyone. A person who told us he hadn't eaten for years a nice cake. So we decided to make him a surprise.
Happy New Year!
明けおめことよろ。イエーイ。おいしい？ヤミー。
You know those journeys you take to get home, when you've been in a place or somewhere, when you walk with a river full of thoughts flowing through your mind. This is how I feel right now. While my shoes hit the asphalt, there's a river which flows through my mind and leaves many thoughts. I'm like most people. I have a home, a job, plans for my future, and I work my ass off to make them come true. But what if all of a sudden all this disappears? Your home, your loved ones, your work. When the darkness that used to be around only when you turned off the light to go to sleep suddenly becomes a constant part of your life. When you lose even the job you don't like, when you're tired of paying rent and bills. When even that woman you have lived with for years does not turn you on, even when she comes out naked from the shower. You choose to give up on everything. Then, when you're lying on the concrete, invisible to millions of people who walk close to you, you think back to that woman, that job, and that rent which made you feel so sick, and a tear caresses your cheek and disappears into the air. Or when the only thing that gives meaning to your days, the only meaning of your life, becomes that of collecting cans. And even if you're aware that maybe there is someone who loves you, who might also help you not to end your days living in this way, you prefer to survive along with your pain. Because maybe you don't know that, but sometimes shame is stronger than any other feeling. And so you're left alone, on the edge of everything and everyone, in that place where no one will talk to you, where people looking at you will only let their eyes speak, which will tell you, why are you doing that? Why are you still there? Why don't you take your life and you end it here, with everything, forever? Better to be dead than to live like you. And while I was thinking about all these things, I reached the river. Looking at it, I had the feeling that even the river which was flowing through my mind suddenly stopped carrying thoughts and began to bring memories to the surface. Memories about the story of that man who often looked at the sky with a big smile and always had a book with him. That man lived near the banks of a river, and in that book he wrote the pages of his life. One day he also lost everything. His smile vanished, and he decided to end his life. He stopped writing his book. He closed it and ran towards the river. He was ready. He was about to do it. He would have thrown and let himself drown, embraced by the blankets of that cold water. It was all planned. First he would throw the book into the water, then he would throw himself. But then comes that moment, you don't know exactly from where, that moment when you stop doing something and start to think. And so it was for him. Instead of throwing his book, the man took a stone covered in mud and threw it into the river. And as the stone entered the water, the man stared at the river, which was there. It flowed without ever stopping, and he thought of the stone he had thrown, that even though it had sunk, the water had washed away the mud, that perhaps the current dragging it could bring it back out of the river, clean, ready to shine, hit by the sun's rays. Thinking about that, the man walked to the river bank. He took his book and lay down, and while keeping the book close to his chest, he looked at the sky and said to himself, "It's time to start writing again."